Hi, my name is Daniel Simon, and I'm a firefighter for Imperial County Fire Department. So currently, my job description is a fire engineer. So I get kind of the cool part. I get to drive the fire truck, but along with those responsibilities, not only do I have to get my crew to the scene safely, but I also return back to the station safely. And even though I drive the fire truck, I do more than just that. I need to know how to, pump and supply water for my crew during the fires. And I do have other trainings, in basic firefighter skills, with the ladders, extrication tools. Um, I'm also a licensed EMT for the state of California, so I do also provide medical assistance that is needed as well. So to qualify, uh, you just need a high school diploma, and then you can apply for the fire academy. Especially here at IVC, we have a fire academy here. You apply, and if you pass their agility that they have every year to qualify, and you pass the written test, they'll there's always a lot of applicants, so you do have to make sure you're at least somewhat fit and active working out, and you're okay with taking basic reading, language, and math questions. Those are the types of the questions you'll see on the written exam portion, and then you'll test, and out of the ones who apply, they'll kind of narrow it down who's qualified, or who's you know they see fit as being ready. For the most part, they usually do take everybody because it is an excruciating program, and unfortunately, some people do drop out because it's so rigorous, the physical portion of it. But that's basically all you need, and then the it's a the program is great because the first semester of the academy is the EMT portion. So for 5 months, you study the EMT portion, and you have to pass the EMT to continue on. Without passing the class, you can't continue on. So that is one of the hard classes to take, but it's an important one because the EMT, which is a emergency medical technician, you're able to assist individuals during medical calls. So you have to pass that class. You don't have to pass your national registry, which is a test that you take for the United States, and eventually for you get your license for the state that you want to apply for or work for. But you do need to pass that class, and once you pass that class, then you move on to the firefighter portion of the academy. And once you pass, the EMT portion, the fire portion of the academy, you basically lead up to graduation. And once you pass the class, you just make sure that you do pass your national registry EMT to, eventually get a job for either for county, or another local agency fire department that we have. So, so my work schedule is a little confusing, and I try telling when people ask me like my work schedule, it's a little hard uh, to explain to them. But usually, how it works is I I work 48 hours on, so that's 48 straight hours, 2 days that I'm at work. I'm at the station for 2 days, and then I usually get 4 days off, unless there's overtime. You can pick up overtime uh, as much as you want. I you know Depending on the individual, some take 1 or 2 days, or some individuals don't want any overtime. They just want to work the 2 days, and get the 4 days off. So, but the way it works, so when I say 2 days on, 4 days off, so if I work a Saturday and Sunday for 48 hours, the following week it bumps up 1 day. So then I go back to work on Friday and Saturday, and then the following week is Thursday and Friday. So that's usually how it kind of goes. And I kid you not, I have to explain that to my parents every single time, my families, because they get confused. Well, I first started as as an education. I wanted to be a teacher. I just liked helping others and um, just giving back to the community. And I really enjoy the teaching part. But when I was working with junior high kids at one of our local junior highs here in the Imperial Valley, I guess I was always kind of talking about, firefighting. And my thing to my students was always, you're never too old to accomplish what you want to do. And one day, uh, one of the students asked me, like, "Are you like a volunteer firefighter, or do you want to be a firefighter?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm neither of them. But it would have been nice to have been a firefighter." Uh, and they asked me the same question that I tell my kids not never to say. And they asked me, "Well, how come you don't do it?" And not thinking, I said, "Oh, it's because I'm too old." And then the kids were right on me when they said, "Aren't you the one that's always telling us that you're never too old to do what you want?" So I kind of smirked and I was like, "Yeah, it is." So that year I made a deal with them that if um, half the class can get a honor roll, that I would just drop an application for the next fire academy coming up. And lo and behold, 3/4 of the class uh, got honor roll. So I had to keep the end of my bargain. But my mind was just like, "Oh, I'll just drop the application. Like I'm not gonna get it." And so I dropped the application. They notified me to do the agility on a Saturday. The agility written test. I went out and did those, and but there must have been 80 plus uh, individuals trying to get into the academy, and they had told us that they only wanted 35. So I kind of figured that I wasn't going to be one of them, especially because some had some prior firefighting knowledge, from relatives or already working for like a volunteer department. So I kind of figured I wasn't going to get in, and they told us that they would send us an email 2 days later with our names, either congratulating us that we made it, or congratulating us for taking the time and participating in the agility and everything, and to try again the following year. So I was expecting that email for myself, but when I opened up one of the emails to the congratulates, I was my name was on it, and that's when it got real. And I was like, well, I guess I'm doing this. And eventually I did the academy. I got my EMT license, and I was offered a job for county. And I decided, as much as I really like working with students and in the school district, I felt like I needed to give more to my community and to help others. And that's something that I really like about the, you know, not just firefighting, but just EMS in general and the healthcare, is helping others in time of need. Somebody's worst day, they're looking for comfort and they're looking, for someone to help them. And it's a rewarding feeling when you go help someone uh, in that time of need. I think the one time that I felt I felt that being a firefighter was really rewarding. I was still I was still fresh. I was maybe, I want to say, 6, 7 months into being a firefighter, and we we got a call at the high school in Imperial of a student being down on the track. And I was on a utility vehicle dropping off supplies to another station, but I was close by, uh, about half a mile away, and I heard the call come in, and I was like, well, uh, my crew was out at a fire, and I was supposed to stay with the city crew guys, uh, firefighters. So I decided to, I'm gonna meet them up at the school. So when I arrived at the high school, I was the first person to arrive, and then the city firefighters followed me, and I went, and I saw that they were doing CPR to a student. I was like, wow, it's like that's kind of strange. Like, why would they be doing CPR for someone who fainted? So like I run over there and I do my assessment. I check for pulse and everything, and I was just kind of baffled for because the call came in as just someone who fainted, and so you don't really do CPR for someone who fainted. But once I did my assessment, I checked for pulse. He had no pulse, and I right away jumped on compressions, and that's CPR, pushing down on the chest, and the city crew guys came in, and we you know put a AED, which is defibrillator, to shock the patient, and gave him and IVs and all that stuff, and we finally got a rhythm back, and we loaded and go. Got the ambulance was there, took him to the hospital, and later on they found out that he had some kind of heart condition that they didn't even know about. But we were just happy that I believe he was a freshman at that time, but that he made it, and that made us like really feel good. It's like we all worked together with the knowledge and all the training that came with it, and we were able to save someone. Um, because unfortunately, even though you do CPR, you're not always going to get that best result of someone saving someone. Sometimes it goes the other way. So it was really rewarding to bring back somebody, to get a pulse back, and that was really rewarding. And then I believe it was about a month later, like we didn't know anything about it, but the county and the school district, they had like a special ceremony, and they presented us with awards, and just for our recognition of saving someone's life, and that kind of you know and I don't want to speak for everybody, for my coworkers, but that's part of our job. That's what we do. We don't do it to get recognized, but when we did get recognized, it was rewarding, because e- even though we don't ask for that, and we didn't intend to receive any awards, but it did make you feel kind of you know happy inside, that you did save someone, and you appreciate people recognizing that. Um, but at the same time, that's what our job intends, is helping others. So we don't do it to get rewarded. It's just our main mission is to help people and individuals. I think the piece of advice that I would give is always be humble. Um, be humble in your job. It's just like any other job. Yeah, it's a cool, fun job to do, but there does come some what do you call it? Like any other job, there is chores. There is certain trainings that you have to do, and some aren't fun like others. But always always be motivated. Always be willing to learn. Uh, in the fire service, you're always going to learn something every single day. Um, for those who are interested in the fire service, just a few things to keep in mind is even though it is fun, uh, you know, you do see heartbreaking and wrenching things on scene. So I would say, really, even though you're a firefighter, I would say, how much of the medical field do you like? Because I have seen certain individuals who like, I mean, the term of being a firefighter, is awesome. But when they start dealing with like the medical stuff, it's like, oh, you know that's not really for me. So really kind of think about like, uh, because a lot of the firefighters' duties are going to medical calls, not just fires. So it's something to keep in mind. It's like you do deal with a lot of medical emergencies, a lot of traffic collisions. So you know not only, yeah, you're a firefighter and you go to structure fires and you put out fires, but for the majority of the time, there is medical. So just always keep that in mind, and just make sure that you're okay with seeing blood, vomit, and you know feces, because in our line of work you will see a lot of that. So if you're not okay with dealing that and being hands on, uh, maybe that's not for you, because we do deal with that a lot. I wouldn't say that I had good captains when I first started. Um, Mentor. So when I first started with the fire department, I did have uh, good coworkers, and I did have some amazing captains that helped me along the way, and they showed me how to be you know a good firefighter, and always be on top of things. Um, and it goes back to the being at the station for 2 days. So we literally do live at the station for 2 days. It's basically your house, and just like your own house, you want to take care of it. You want to clean. If anything's broken, fix it. So I did have some firefighters to to go above and beyond, uh, and even do the small little things and the unpleasant things as well. But I think for me, one of my inspirations was probably my family, uh, and they were always there pushing me, and they believed in me, because there were some rough times where it's like, I didn't think I was gonna make it, because the academy is pretty excruciating, um, especially this time schedule and working full time, and doing the academy after work. So I was constantly tired, but I think my role models were probably my grandfathers. They were like so thrilled that I was doing this, and at the end, when I did finally get hired, they were constantly my cheer team, always asking, how I was going, and uh, I tried to bring that the worth ethics of my family, my grandfathers, especially my grandfathers, two hardworking men that I knew, and I was going to bring that with me uh, to being a firefighter, and just go above and beyond, every single day that I was at work for 2 days. So one of the things that I feel that's important for being a firefighter Even though we do work in uh, for first responders, um, one of our main priorities is customer service. So we do deal with a lot of, individuals. We deal with, not just patients themselves, but sometimes we do, go to communities. We'll help them, during October, Fire Safety Week. We'll go to the schools. We interact with, with kids. We'll go to nursing homes and talk about, um, you know, fire alarms, or just give them some knowledge about certain stuff that they might need help with. Um, so we're there for the public, and we are a customer service type uh, of job. We do deal with individuals, so yeah, it's different from your customer service from stores and stuff, but you you always want to come with a great positive attitude, um, and just willing to help people, individuals in general. I think that's the most important thing is you can't forget that even though you're a firefighter, you are a customer service job, and that you're there to help individuals, and whatever help they need, you communicate with them, you interact with the community. So you do have to, you can't be shy. You have to be vocal with with your local community, and with that comes, working with, the elderly, kids, going to schools, any event. It's Christmas time right now, so uh, firefighters have been in parades. They've been part of other small little gatherings. This past weekend was Shot with the Cop, and firefighters were there. So that's something that if you are interested in becoming, a firefighter, something to really think about and look at that aspect. That not only are a firefighter, but you really are giving back to the community, and it's a customer service job. So always be attentive, always be a good listener. If you don't know the answer, it's fine. Just tell them that you'll find it, and that's the best that you can do.